Hey everybody, so it's been a little bit since I've been able to make another video. I've been really just like going through a lot and a lot's just been going on, and my mind is everywhere, all the time. That no need to fear because Genealogy Queen is here and I will always be here to continue to give you guys good content. So nothing to be worried about. um, I was looking at some things because I wanted to look more into my southeastern African side, like Madagascar and all of that, to kind of see more of where this story is coming from. And I've been meaning to actually reach out to my cousin to kind of ask him more about the situation. But I kind of, when they say Cameroon and Congo, we know that that's West Africa. And then when you go into like Southern Africa and East Africa, when we think of East Africa, we just think of Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somali, those places, or Somalia. So this kind of gives a better breakdown of what countries are Southern Africa and what countries are East Africa, because we really know what the West African countries are. We just don't really know. Some people may know more than me, but then when we think of Southern Africa and East Africa, we don't really fully know. Maybe a little bit more about Southern, but not East Africa. We only have a couple countries. So here it shows. And this will be for people who have Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples, which I think majority of people of color who've taken the test have a high percentage of that. I think I found recently one person who had a very high percentage of Benin and Togo, and then he had a couple other regions, but I don't think he had the Cameroon and Congo and Southern Bantu peoples. However, you can see here, so Southern Africa contains Angola, Botswana, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, which, okay, that's kind of right there, you know, Swaziland, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So then we get to East Africa, we got Burundi, which is new. Kind of, I never knew Burundi was in East Africa. Djibouti, which was also, I didn't know was there, but I've heard of the name because I remember saying the name. Eritrea, I knew about that. Ethiopia, I knew about that. Kenya, I knew about that. Actually, I didn't know Kenya was East Africa. Yes, I did. I can't remember. It was one of those, but it makes sense. Madagascar, yeah, of course I knew that. Rwanda, didn't I kind of knew that because I learned about Rwanda. Somalia, I knew that. Sudan, I knew that. Tanzania, I knew that. And Uganda, I knew that, or I kind of knew that. But Tanzania, I kind of knew that as well. So this is just a better breakdown of the countries and where they're located in Africa. And I thought it'd be nice to kind of have that split or kind of people to learn about where places actually are. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And also, when you go back, I wanted to kind of go back to my result because I was just really interested in it. And I kind of really wanted to look into it because I always look at that and I look at the percentage and I kind of want to know more of like, okay, what is Madagascar and what is not Madagascar. Because seeing that my cousins that told me about this Madagascar blood are fourth cousins and further down, actually some are like first and second and stuff like that. Well, some aren't. It starts from like second, third, but I think it starts from third and down. I know cousin Melvin is my fourth, maybe my third. His sister the same. His mother is my second or third, or my third or fourth, one of those. And then his sister's children kids are my fourth or fifth. But I always say fifth because I always say cousin Melvin's my fourth. Then his sister's also my fourth. His parents are my third, or his mom or whoever is my third. And then his nieces and nephews are my fifth. So seeing that the blood is a little bit further down, seeing that they may be a higher percentage of it is would make sense. However, when I went on Ancestry to see that I was more than cousin Melvin. So I wasn't sure if maybe he just had a lower percentage but more Madagascar blood than me, or if I don't know, because it doesn't really pinpoint Madagascar exactly. The only thing that pinpoints Madagascar is when you go to my East Asian and Native American and they go to let me go down, and you go to this small percentage of Filipino and Austronesian, which talks about many indigenous Filipinos, including the Aita, Batak, and Manwa peoples, are likely descended from one of the earliest dispersals of modern humans out of Africa. However, most Filipinos can trace their ancestry to a much more recent and widespread migration of Southeast Asian seafarers related to the indigenous people of Taiwan. Today, this genetic signature, called Austronesian, meaning Southern Island, is common across the islands of the Pacific, from the Philippines Sea to Hawaii, and can be found as far away as Madagascar. So that's the only time I found anything really about Madagascar. Now, when you go to this result, the African result, and you go to Congolese and Southern East African, that is this, but there's no Madagascar blood there. It's this part. But then when you go to Broadly, then that's when Southern East African, which is located. Hold on, that's pretty much the Madagascar blood. That's it. I mean, I don't see. We got Southern East African. It doesn't really pinpoint where it goes. I just know that that's like the Madagascar blood, probably. In Angolan and Congolese, I'm 10.1%. So, I mean, broadly, Congolese and Southern East African, I could probably go more to the Southern East African, but it doesn't look like I have a big percentage of Madagascar blood in me. And seeing that it goes so far down in my family anyway, I wouldn't expect it, because I had to think about it, and sat down and I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I didn't expect it to be that much because of how far down that line is. Even though I'm still related to them, I still have it and I still identify with it, but it's still kind of small. Because you see, I'm more Congolese, Angolan and Congolese, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leonean, and then Senegamian and Guinean, and stuff like that. But then when you go to Ancestry, the whole percentage of the whole percentage of the Madagascar root is 39%. It's 39, but it doesn't give a specific area. But you can see that it highlights more of this place here, which is the Dominican Republic of Congo. And the Dominican Republic of Congo, and it's lighter. Like when you go to so you got Angola, Zambia, Malawi, Dominican Republic of Congo, which is very heavily highlighted, Rwanda, Burundi, some of Tanzania. That's southern though. So when you get South Sudan, you don't really have Sudan in there, but because I'm not much of East African, that just does not, East African blood does not run heavily in my family. That's just not something, but it's there a little bit, but that blood is Madagascar blood, and that's why you also see Madagascar here highlighted in there. So it's just really interesting, I thought. So the comparison of the two percentages on my thing is interesting, but I want to ask more about the Madagascar blood because I just think it'd be cool to look more into. I've always been looking into that, but it's just really cool I think almost everybody has Nigerian blood in them, but everybody who has African ancestry almost. But not everybody has Madagascar blood. But from what I've been seeing on tests, it looks like everybody almost has not necessarily Madagascar blood, but they have, blood from that region. It says that Angola has 3 main ethnic groups, each speaking a Bantu language. Bundu 37%, and then Kimbundu is 25%, and Kikongo 13%. These are the languages. Other groups include Chakwe, Lunda, Ganguela, Nahaneka Humbe, Ambo, Helelo, and Shindunga. So in addition, mixed racial European and African people account for about 2% with a small 1% population of whites. So it's just cool to kind of see how that, plays out. So, yeah. So I wanted to show that. I will also be coming with a part 2 of my adoption story very soon. That might be put up tonight. So, all right, guys, have a great night.